Hello. Okay, I am still so sick, you guys. So I don't know how long this vlog is gonna be. It is 3:22 in the morning. Look at my hair. It is like so bad. I have basically been sleeping all day today. I'm just gonna sit here for a second. I'm at the gas station. My throat is hurting so bad that I wanted to get like a Coke or something, so I went and I got a Dr. Pepper. I know it's not on my diet. Kill me. I have had a really good day today. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do in just a second, but I'm like going through these hauls like nobody's business. I just bought a new pack of them. I'm gonna have to get an antibiotic tomorrow because I just think that this is like, I'm not getting better, so I'm gonna get an antibiotic. But I woke up today. I slept in super late. So last night I finished Dan Brown's Origin, and then I started the new John Green book, which I'm actually listening to right now. I'll show you. It's called Turtles All the Way Down. You guys, if you watch my booktube channel, you know how excited I was. It's not living up to my fantasy of what I think is a great John Green book. This might be, I hate to say this, like I'm halfway through it. So I don't know when it's going to turn around and redeem itself. It may in like the last third, but this may be the worst John Green book I've ever read. So anyway, I'm about to go on a little goose chase. It takes place in Indianapolis, which is where I live, because John Green lives here. And, who is a security guard pulling up next to me? And so there's like this house. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's going to read it, but there's like this house that it takes place in. And I want to see if this house really exists, because every place else that he talks about this Applebee's, which I know there's an Applebee's. My cousin Caroline, she and her husband met working at the Applebee's that he talks about in this book. So I'm just going to kind of go on this route that they take, which is like 20 minutes, half an hour from here. Probably 15, 20 minutes. But anyway, I slept until today till like 12:30 or 1. I finished the Dan Brown book, which was really good. It was a fun adventure. I mean, it wasn't the greatest book in the entire world, but it was a fun adventure. And then I started the John Green book. And then, so I stayed up late last night. And then today I woke up late. Took the dogs out. What did I do? I feel like I did something that I had to do. I was going to get coffee, but by the time I finally left the house after I uploaded my vlog, I mean, I was moving so slow. You guys know when you're sick and you're just like moving really, really slow? I had all these things I wanted to get accomplished today, and I was like, okay, and I kept on saying to myself, if I just get one of them accomplished, then I will feel like really proud of myself. And I actually got quite a few things accomplished today. So, it's so weird, like, even on the days that I feel really, really sick, I feel so driven to make videos because I just love to do it, you know? So, like, that was just a given. I was going to make my videos. But anyway, I finally got out of the house at, like, 3 o'clock, and I was really, I've been craving Einstein bagels like nobody's business. And let me just tell you, I've put on the weight because of it, and I've got to stop. And so I went in there and I got what I usually get, which today they didn't have an everything bagel, so I got a garlic bagel. This woman emailed me and she was like saying she was worried about me having a stalker because now that I'm really truly YouTube famous, like as if. But I mean, it was a nice email, but she was like, I'm really worried that, you know, like a lot of these YouTubers get crazy stalkers. And I was like, so now I'm kind of like paranoid. But anyway, I went to Einstein Bagels and I got a garlic bagel with garlic and onion schmear on it with a piece of pepper jack cheese and onion. And then I got a walnut apple or something, I don't know, some kind of bagel with honey walnut schmear on it. And then I ate some hummus as well at home. And I watched Dance Moms. And then I made my videos. No, I made my videos first, and then I ate. That guy just did. Okay, so I've talked about this on here before. But my dad's a surgeon. He was a hand surgeon when I was growing. I mean, he's a reconstructive surgeon, but he does hand surgery as his area specialty. One of my dad's biggest, like, huge pet peeves is when people push on glass pane doors, because he's seen so many kids and so many adults, like, they just go right through the door, and then they, like, destroy their hands. When I was a little kid, my dad was, like, always, like, so on me about... Anyway, this guy just did that. He just, like, pushed right through the door with his hand. Like, not literally, but, like, he opened the door with his hand. Anyway, and then I got my videos done early. Did a really fun book tag on my booktube video. It was like cool here today. It was like 60, 65. It was very fallish, rainy day. And then Alex worked late, and then he went and had dinner with his friend that he works with. And then he was coming home to have like a phone date with his best friend who lives in LA. And I think he might be going to visit her like in a week or two. He has like a conference he has to go to out there, so he may be like visiting her as well, I think. That might be next weekend. Spookathon starts this Sunday. I cannot believe it. I like totally forgot that it was so close. So anyway, what else did I do? I read a little bit out on the front porch. I've been reading a lot already this month. And then I'm so behind on Helter Skelter, though. I'm just going to have to like sit and like really get through some of it. And then, oh, I was doing laundry while I was eating and watching Dance Moms. And so, because you guys know we have no dryer, because we're so lazy, people are like, we're going to buy you a dryer. If you want to buy me a dryer and have it sent to my house, that would be awesome. I would love that. If you work for a company that wants to sponsor me in a video and buy me a new washer and dryer, that would be fantastic. I will sponsor the shit out of you. I will anything to get a new washer and dryer. But we have the money to buy a new dryer. We've just been too lazy to go do it. So, and I was thinking about this today. I was like, when I was at the laundromat, I was like, it really is so much quicker. Because I was like, I just want to bring all the laundry here. Because we've got like towels and bedspreads and sheets and everything to do too. And I thought, it's just so much quicker to do it here versus having a washer and dryer where it takes you like 5 hours to do, you know? Except for that if you have it at the house, like everybody in the world except for us right now, you can like do all that stuff. I mean, I could have it all done because I could do it while I was doing other stuff. But anyway, so I did the wash. I had 2 loads of wash to do for clothes. So I have all new clothes, fresh clothes, clean clothes, all new clean clothes. I did 2 huge loads of laundry and then went and dried them, and I listened to my audiobook, and then I came home, put my laundry away, and then I was supposed to go to a meeting tonight, and my throat just kept on hurting more and more and more. And Alex was going to be gone till like 10, so I was like, I'm going to lay down. So I laid down, and when I got up, he was downstairs talking to his friend on the phone, like outside, and going in and outside and taking the trash out and stuff like that. So I just kept on sleeping. I slept till like 11:15, and I got up 11 o'clock, I think. And then are you ready for this? I watched like all 3 of the Purge movies while I sat there and answered every email that I've received in like the last 2 months. So I'm finally caught up on emails. If you did not get a response to me from an email that you sent me, I am sorry. It must have gone to spam. My spam is so crazy, out of control long on all of my email accounts that I deleted all the spam. So there's no way I could have gone through all of it and found somebody's email. So if you did not get a response from me, it means that your email went to spam, and I apologize. Or like I got like probably like 20 emails about specific YouTubers, like people that I've made YouTube videos about, and if I've already made videos about them, like I didn't respond specifically to it. There's 2 YouTubers right now that I'm kind of like not like specifically talking about because I just need to like move away from that drama, if that makes sense. And so I no offense if you email me about that, but I'm just not responding to it. I think sometimes it's better just not to keep the discussion going, if that makes sense. But it felt so weird to sit. It didn't feel weird. It was so nice. I have both my candle wax burners going on, and Alex was reading in bed upstairs the book that we're doing for marriage counseling with the dogs, and I was watching those movies. And then I was like in the dark, and I had the candle wax burners going. I got all the emails done. I got my laundry done. I felt very productive today, even though I was sick. I got so much stuff done. Cleaned the kitchen. I dusted the other day, so our house is like super clean right now. I don't know, I just feel like I've been like super productive lately, and it's nice, you know? I got so many emails about merchandise. Like, I really want to do the merchandise, you guys, but like, I have to figure out, like, I want to do like Teesprings or Spreadshirt or like District Lines or one of those companies where you just like go through there, because then if there's any problems with like customer service or whatever, you guys can just email them, because like I don't want to be in charge of all of that. Like, I will not do it well. So I would rather have it just be like where I pick out what the products are going to be, and then people can order them off the site, and they're like made, you know what I'm talking about, and then they get a percentage of whatever. And then I need to outline the book that I'm going to do about my mom, because I want to get on that. And I've got to find out how to self-publish that through like CreateSpace on Amazon too. I got so many really neat emails, you guys. Like, people just like, you guys like just really touch my heart, like sharing. I mean, like, I feel like almost on every email that I received tonight, like, people really shared in depth about, I just feel so blessed to be able to do this, you know? It's like, this is just like such a blessing to me. Like, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm reading these emails, and people are sharing like all of this like really in-depth, intricate stuff with me about like their lives, about addiction and grieving the loss of a parent, or, you know, family members that have addiction issues or chronic illness. And people are just like, you know, so many people were like, you brightened up my day, thank you so much. And just to think that, and like, I mean, I even emailed this back to like 2 or 3 people, like, you know, I'm glad to know that my silly little videos make you like happier throughout the day. And it's like, I really don't think about that when I'm making the videos, that like, I don't know, it's just like, it's such a blessing to be able to do something where I feel like I'm reaching people out there in a positive way, and that I don't know, it just is so awesome. It was like, and it was so nice to get to know some of you guys that like, oh, I also responded to all my Snapchats today too. So up till about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'm totally caught up on my Snapchats. I was like all the way back to Saturday or Sunday. I don't know, you know, it's like, I'm not dogging other YouTubers, but it's like, I see other YouTubers and it's like, they're like, oh, I love you guys so much and all this kind of stuff, but I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I feel unworthy, you know, like, oh, my throat's killing me. When I was, like, people really trust me with telling me their life stories, you know, it's like, we don't live in a world where people easily share what's going on with themselves, and for people to feel so comfortable to contact me and share with me what's really going on with their lives, you guys, like, that is, like, you guys, like, I have no idea how to explain to you what it just means. And like, as somebody that like has worked a 12-step program, and like the first time that I did like a 4-step, which is, you know, made a searching fearless moral inventory of my life, and then the 5th step, which is, you know, share that with another person, is where like, I can remember the first time I did that with my first sponsor, and I was like, I'm not telling him shit. He doesn't need to know about my life. You know, like, I didn't know him. I didn't trust him. You know what I mean? So the fact that people feel so comfortable with a YouTuber like me, just like sharing their life with me and like what's going on with their life, is like so crazy. It's so awesome. And that guy was like in my lane. Oh my God. I mean, I don't think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread or whatever, but it was like, I got a couple emails that were interesting to me. I only got one negative email from somebody, but other than that, like, I got all really nice emails, and one person was like, was asking, or it was like 2 people that were saying like something about my age, and like, how do you think your age works for you or works against you? You know, and I think like it's weird because like, I I didn't really think much about it, to be honest with you, like when I got on BookTube. And because I loved BookTube so much that by the time that I started my main channel, I didn't really think much about the fact that, like, I'm so much older than everybody. I mean, I really didn't, you guys. And who was the guy that was back in the day that was, like, one of the very first YouTubers? I think his name was Zippy. You know, and he was, like, 70 or late 60s when he started his YouTube channel. He was very successful. And I think he's still out there making videos. And, it wasn't until other people brought it to my attention how old I was that, you know, like, I really realized it was an issue, if that makes sense. I mean, it's not an issue to me at all, but I like that. I mean, let's see if he's... Is his name Zippy? Is that his name? I don't remember what his name is, but anyway, do you guys know what I'm talking about? He was like the older guy. He came out like when Chris Crocker was out and stuff like that. But like, I mean, the really cool thing for me is this. It's like, I don't plan on going anywhere. Like, this is not like a 6-month thing for me or like a year. Like, I love doing this so much that I'm going to do it until YouTube is no longer a platform, and then I'll go wherever the next platform is, you know? Like, I found something that I absolutely love, and until I don't love doing it anymore, I'm going to continue doing it. But I don't burn out on things easily, you know what I mean? Like, this is just so much fun for me. Now, do I think that over time that my content may change, that I may go from doing drama videos into something else? Sure, I think that will happen, you know? I do all kinds of stuff on my channel, and you know, one of the things that's really cool is that, like, I noticed that, like, if I do a magazine video, it might get a few thousand views less than most of my other videos, but not a whole lot. So people will watch what I put up, which is really cool, you know? But like, I think the cool thing about it is I got emails from people that were like 20 and in college to 40 to, you know, every different background, every different, you know, diverse population, men, women, you know, teenagers, college kids, retirees, you know, widows, widowers, divorcees. And I think the cool thing about that is that, like, I'm not a story that's going to change or age out. Like, my channel is going to grow as I grow. You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see, like, how I continue to fit in your lives through the years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, one of my fears that I don't have the fear on my channel of, like, aging out, because, like, I mean, you know, if you're my age and you're watching my videos, or you're 10 years younger and you're relating to it, I think, like, 10 years from now, it's like, well, hopefully you'll still find something relatable on my channel. You know what I mean? Like, whether it be books, or, I don't know, how to have the best day, or a rant video, or reading a stupid magazine or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of people recommended ideas to me tonight, which was fantastic. I got some really great ideas about stuff. One of the things that people really want me to talk a lot about, you guys, is mental health issues. And it's tricky because, you know, like, mental health is a really misunderstood problem in our country. There are horrible resources for it. We just don't have good resources for people to get, like, affordable mental health treatment. And for me to get on video and talk about it and act like I can solve or help anybody's problems in a 10 or 20 minute video is really negligent of me, and I really don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Just now, it's different if I share my own experience. But other than addiction issues, like, I have to be honest with you guys, like, I don't struggle with a lot of the same mental health issues that people that come to my channel. Like, I have a lot of social anxiety. And I've struggled with anxiety. But, like, I don't struggle with depression. And although I dealt with my mother having bipolar disorder and, like, fugue state depression at times, so as having dealt with a family member that had it, and how frustrating that is, because, like, and the thing is, until, like, well, first of all, when I started working in treatment with teenagers, ADD and ADHD were the catchphrase diagnoses. So every psychiatrist in the world, every doctor in the world was diagnosing kids that and throwing them up. I'm not big on medicating teenagers, okay? And they were just throwing them up on these diagnoses and medicating them. And then the next diagnosis was bipolar disorder. And then you had all of these kids that were 14 years old that had bipolar disorder, when we know for a fact that it's really hard to diagnose bipolar disorder until you're at least 18, 19, because you're not starting to have the realistic symptoms of that. And that's just a fact, okay? I mean, like, that's old school, we know that. And then it turned into, like, when I was leaving, and this is still out there, and you guys know what I'm talking about, that you would hear that, like, so many kids were diagnosed as on the spectrum or having Asperger's. Like, that's the new catchphrase one, right? So there's all, like, when we have kids that have issues that we don't know what the fuck to do with, we want to throw a label and a diagnosis on them. And, so it's like, oh, they have Asperger's or they're on the spectrum. So a kid that might have social anxiety, it was interesting because I was talking to my counselor the other day and I said, can I ask you a question? He said, yeah. And I said, like, I can talk into a camera, like, all this kind of stuff. I was explaining my social anxiety, and I said, a lot of the same signs and symptoms that you see with social anxiety are what you see with people that are, like, on the spectrum of autism or Asperger's. I said, do you think it's possible that I am on the spectrum, or that I have, some form of, Asperger's or whatever? Which is so weird, because, like, that I would even ask that question. But, like, I had an adult friend of mine who recently said that, she was on the spectrum, and it, like, explained so much about her behavior. But I looked at him and he goes, no, absolutely not. And he goes, Peter, you're really reading into signs and symptoms that aren't there. And so, like, it's dangerous to hide, I think, behind that label sometimes. Now, do I think that there are people? I do not want anybody to misunderstand what I am saying. There are absolutely people that are diagnosed with Asperger's and on the spectrum that are. There are kids that are. There are kids that are diagnosed as bipolar at 15 that are absolutely bipolar. So I'm not taking away any of that from anybody. So please do not send me the comments or the emails and say, well, my child is, and you don't know what you're talking about and whatever. All I'm saying is, it's overdiagnosed in our country right now because we don't know what to do with a lot of teenagers and a lot of, pre-adolescents. So we just slap a diagnosis on them, and then what happens is you have a 16-year-old with 5 to 10 different kind of medications. And then they start self-medicating and using, mutilation and things like that to, like, control their pain, and instead of really trying to understand what's going on. And I think it's really misunderstood a lot. Like, you can sit here, I've worked with teenagers all my life. Hell, I don't even understand what a lot of these diagnoses are. Or I wouldn't be asking my counselor if he thought that I was on the spectrum, but I thought, well, maybe I was missed. Maybe it was missed, and all this time I've been, that's been the answer to what's been going on with me. And if I could understand it, then maybe, And he gave me some websites to go look at and check some things out. So, but I think it's an interesting conversation, that we want to, like, I don't know. So people really want me to always talk about mental health issues, and it's like, I know a lot about addiction. I know a lot about suicidal ideation. I know a lot about mutilation and eating disorders. I don't know a lot about clinical psych issues like depression, bipolar disorder. I worked with those issues, but I always worked in conjunction with a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist. So it was never me diagnosing patients, if that makes sense. And the fact the state of Indiana, social workers can't diagnose. So I always worked with a team of people, and those are very, very serious issues. One of my biggest issues is when people go and they get medicated by their family physicians instead of going to see a psychiatrist. It's like if you went and you had a heart problem, and instead of going to a cardiologist, you went to your family physician and did what your family, like, we should probably be going to cardiologists, for specialty. And so I always recommend to people to, I must have said to, I don't know how many people tonight, 30 people, you need to seek some maybe professional help, because I'm not going to be negligent and act like I can help somebody when I can't, through an email. That's not right. I shouldn't do that. And I shouldn't act like I can. But I can help somebody get some help. That is something that I can do. And I can share my experiences of living with somebody that wouldn't get out of bed for 3 or 4 days in a row. They were so depressed. And when I mean depressed, what I mean is my mother would explain it to me like it was a dark, wet, heavy blanket that was over her, and she couldn't see out, and she didn't know how to get out, and she didn't want to get out, and she was scared to get out. And then, poof, it was just gone, and she was like manic, excited, happy, and it was, I didn't even know what to do with it. And then that would last 2 or 3 days. But the mania was scary. And, you know, what I think happened with my mom a lot, too, is that I think she medicated it a lot with her drinking. And then when she stopped drinking, it was still there. So she didn't know what to do with it. Because she was very aware of it. You know, she would say, I know I'm not right. But she didn't know what to do with it, and she was scared to be medicated. So what do you do when you're scared to be medicated and you know there's a problem? You know, I don't know. I don't know. But I can share my experiences on how it's related to me and, you know, how I've dealt with it in my personal life with people that I've dated, and, you know, because I dated somebody that had mental health issues, and, I mean, if that would be helpful, let me know, you guys, okay? What do you think? What kind of personal stories of mine would you like to hear about? You know, sometimes I just get on here and I ramble about BS, but I kind of miss telling all the old stories and stuff. So are there things that you guys would like to hear? Put in the comment section below. I'd be really interested in knowing what you guys would like to hear more about. All right. Okay, I'm going to go listen to my audiobook, and I'm going to go hunt down this house to see if it really exists. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.